Tell us some of the things God is showing you.
God deals with me more like he did with Daniel in dreams. And he shows me prophetic stages to what's happening in the world. So he took me into the nation of China, and I was taken to this lab room with scientists and everything, and I saw behind the closed doors was Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic Party, and they said in there, I opened the door and I heard their conversation, they said we could not impeach Trump. They were going to try to impeach him, but the impeachment would fall. Then they would try to they needed leverage. And I'm taken to this laboratory room. I see these scientists creating the virus, and the threats of this virus would come through on the garments and the machine shooting in the air and through needles, like vaccines. I'm not saying you shouldn't take vaccines, but there's an antidote that's coming that hasn't been presented yet. And the Lord showed me the corruption that's in the government of China, the corruption that's in the United States, and so many, even about Russia and on and on and on. This time frame of shaking and the introduction of fear from the enemy is to deal with the landscape of the American churches and the corruption. China, and I'm very careful to say this, but it's, God is tired of what China has done to God's people, how they has tried to stop the church from moving forward. They have been prosecuting, burning down mega churches, trying to martyr the saints. He said, enough is enough. And when God gets enough is enough, he's going to start showing the prophets what's coming. So January the 15th, actually the first part was the end of December 2019. The second part, January the 15th. And he told me within the 4 months, the clip we just got through seeing, they'll make it April the 15th through 16th. What is that to the nation of Israel? It's the Passover time.
What is going to happen on Passover?
We're going to start seeing this virus diminish.
Okay.
And we're going to start seeing, because I had another part of the dream where the sun was coming down. And I found out yesterday from scientific proof from a scientist that when the sun or the heat hit, the viruses evaporate. So God has a plan to break the spirit of fear over the world. It's fear. But fear is false evidence appearing real. We're not given the spirit of fear, but of power, that we don't be entrapped with more danger that is lurking.
From a political viewpoint, do you believe there are Americans involved with China with this? What was China's purpose in doing?
China's purpose was to manipulate the election of our president.
Really?
China wanted the Democratic Party to win this.
Why?
Because the United States is in covenant with Israel. And because of the covenant of Israel, who's ever in the graphic to the fig nation, God honors and respects that.
And Trump has done more. As a Jewish man that is Israeli as well as American, I can tell you that outside of President Truman, this president has done more to bless Israel than any president I know of.
But in my dream, I heard Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic Party said, finally, we got to leverage now because Trump rallies big campaigns. The good side of this, a lot of things is taking place that's going to be beneficial. God's going to end the seeker-sensitive churches. He's going to pull the rug and the carpet underneath of their feet. But with China and the Democratic Party, get back to your question and answer that, they're devising a plan and a plot, and it's going to be uncovered, and we're going to see all of this.
Did God show you who's going to win the election?
Yes, He did.
If believers, and I know it's always if believers pray.
Right. Well, He showed me 3 times in a dream, and I shared this the first time. There's a clip that was made here. I dreamed that Donald Trump got reelected. There's no guessing games. He is the one that God's going to put His hands on. All we got to do is, as a prophetic voice, is to give the warnings out, present a strategy, show the people what the next step to do, not to be intimidated, not to be afraid. You don't have to stay in your homes. Now, you got government rules, but remember when Peter got out of jail, the angel in light, he said, is it better to obey man or to obey God? You know, I don't have no problem going to jail for Jesus. I'm going to preach the gospel no matter where. So I'm not intimidated, I'm not fearful, I'm not afraid, I don't have nothing to lose. But if I do not warn them, then I have a responsibility of people's lives.